The light from the sun's rays, the sound of nature, inspired man to start responding to rhythm. And that was the first dance. Perhaps the early man started responding to rhythm by dancing to the sound of raindrops and thunder showers. Although each region of India has its own unique folk and classical dance forms, they share a common heritage rooted in the ancient text Natya Shastra compiled by sage Bharata. The Natya Shastra defines the three principal aspects of dance as Nritya or pure dance, Nitya or Abhinaya to express mood, and Natya or drama. Dance is perhaps the most elemental art form which helps to spontaneously express human emotions, experiences, and the collective identity of a specific group of people. Residents of Mathura and Vrindavan in central India have been performing Ras Leela for hundreds of years. Young boys dress up as Krishna, Radha, and Gopikas and perform the Ras Leela, not for mere entertainment alone, but as a mode of worship. The artists performing Radha and Krishna are worshipped with flowers and treated with great respect and reverence. Originating in the Krishna Radha folk dances of Mathura and Vrindavan, Kathak is one of the 6 major classical dance forms of India. Kathak was refined to its present sophistication of graceful twirls and breathtaking footwork in the royal courts of the Nawabs, the Islamic influence being quite evident. A healthy competition developed among the artists, and the movements became fast-moving and vigorous to keep the Nawabs entertained. However, Hindu themes were not left out. The southern counterpart of Kathak is Bharata Natyam, originally performed by Devadasis or servants of God in the temples of Tamilnadu. To get a layman interested in classical dance, Kathak and Bharata Natyam are sometimes presented as a jugalbandi, where one is able to compare and contrast between the two. Sadir, practiced by Devadasis exclusively, might have been lost with the ban on the Devadasi tradition in the early 20th century. Passionate efforts revitalized this art form, and today, Bharata Natyam, as it is rechristened, gives equal emphasis to dance, drama, and mime. Though the classical and folk art forms throughout India are bound by common religious and mythological themes, these traditional forms yield to presenting secular and modern concepts too, such as a game of ball.
tagarigu tom tom enave sa ga ma pa ni sa ni pa ma ga ga ma pa ni sa ni pa ni pa ma ga pa ma ga ma pa ni sa ni pa ma ga pa ma ni pa sa ni pa ma pa ni pa ma sa ni pa ma ga ni pa ga ma pa ni sa sundara விழிகள் பந்தனார் தத்தொங்க தகதிகு தொம் தொம் எனவே பந்தடி தனளே சுந்தரி பந்தடி தனளே பந்தடி தனளே சுந்தரி பந்தடி தனளே பந்தடி தனளே சுந்தரி பந்தடி தனளே பந்தடி தனளே பந்தடி தனளே
Folk art brings about the interaction of all aspects of life and are not seen as something apart from life. Kummi is a very common folk number performed in the villages of Tamil Nadu for any happy occasion. Another dance form prevalent in the villages of Tamil Nadu is Pinnal Kolattam, a rhythmic number performed with sticks and coloured ropes. As the dance finishes, the coloured ropes are knotted in a plant.
ஒளி நிலவில் கூடியாடுவோம் நாமே கோலாடுவோம் ராம பெண் பாடுவோம் மதி ஒளி நிலவில் கூடியாடுவோம் புலோக மீதிலே புகைய நாமே புலோக மீதிலே புகைய நாமே உமணம் பேசிடும் பூஜோலை தன்னிலே உமணம் பேசிடும்
Just as young girls of Tamil Nadu dance Kolattam with batons, the men and women of Gujarat perform Dandiyaras, a vigorous and rhythmic dance with batons where the dancers leap and crouch in twirling patterns. Indeed, rhythm is the backbone of dance, and the tribes of Nagaland and eastern India perform the bamboo dance, weaving intricate patterns in and out of bamboo sticks. The male dancers of Manipur in northeastern India perform Sankirtana with cymbals and dholak. A sense of music and rhythm is inbuilt in the citizens of Manipur, and almost every one of them sing or dance. The vigorous and rhythmic Pung Cholam is performed by young men of Manipur. The beat of the hands on the heavy dholaks and the feet tapping on the floor display perfect synchronization. The classical dance form of Manipur is Manipuri, where the dancers wear veils along with cylindrical mirrored skirts and ornaments that create a dreamlike effect. Ponta Jagoy is a dance competition between Radha and Krishna. Krishna seems to be a favorite among dancers of all styles. This Krishna with a stylized mask performs Chau, a dance form with origins shrouded in mystery. Chau combines folk, tribal and martial traditions and yet covers the three aspects of Nritya, Natya and Nritya of classical dance and is a complex combination of the folk and classical tradition. Three styles of Chau exist in the three different regions of Bihar, West Bengal and Odisha: Saraikela Chau, Purulia Chau and Mayurbhanj Chau. Each character has a special mask unique to that character. Dances with masks are prevalent in other states too. The three versatile folk dance forms of Karnataka, Somanakunita, Marammakunita and Kamsale, invoke the blessings of the mystic village goddess and her masked bodyguard. Although performed with elaborate makeup and masks, Kathakali, the classical dance form of Kerala, gives ample scope for the artist to exhibit his facial expressions. While the men folk of Kerala perform Kathakali, the women perform Mohini Attam, known for its graceful movements. The flowing movements of Mohini Attam are somewhat similar to Odissi, the classical form of Odisha. The striking feature of Odissi is its intimate relationship with temple sculptures, such as those seen in the famous Sun Temple of Konark. Tribhanga, the three-body bend, characterizes this dance form. Kuchipudi, the classical dance of Andhra Pradesh, derives its name from a small village. Initially performed by a large group of dancers, more like a drama, Kuchipudi is now popular as a solo art form. Lasya Nartana, which means the feminine dance, was practiced by temple dancers. This vibrant style of the Telugu people is today popularly called Andhra Natyam. Often, a male successfully impersonates and performs the female role of Satyabhama. About 700 years ago, the male members of the royal family of Kakatiya dynasty and the warriors danced the Perini Shivatandavam to invoke the blessings of Lord Shiva. Perini, popularly called the dance of the warlords, is performed by an all-male ensemble. If men of Andhra dance to gain strength, Bhangra, full of masculine vitality, is performed by the men of Punjab to celebrate the harvest of the wheat crop. These folk dances seem to have evolved as a spontaneous way of life rather than organized entertainment.
देश में रहते हैं मुंडे देख लो यार मुंडे बनते चादरे
Karagam and Kavadi, performed by the villagers of Tamil Nadu, is dominated by acrobatic movements. The Rajasthani Bhave, similar to Karagam, is performed by balancing a minimum of 13 pots. Tera Tali is a Rajasthani folk number where small cymbals or manjiras are tied to the hands and legs of the dancers and bells sound in rhythm as they dance. During the colourful Holi festival celebrated all over North India, the villagers performed the duff dance to the rhythm of handheld drums. If the Rajasthanis perform a special dance, Bharat, that describes a wedding ceremony, the Punjab girls tease the bride and the groom with spontaneous song and dance. Be it east or west, folk music and dance celebrate the rhythms of daily life, the turn of the seasons, the highlights of the agricultural calendar, religious festivals, and the important events that punctuate the flow of life, such as births and marriages. All the varied classical and folk forms of India have a common heritage, the Natya Shastra. This aspect of unity in diversity has been well researched by Dr. Padma Subrahmanyam and forms the basis of her style Bharata Natyam. Although a combination of more than one classical style, Bharata Natyam is firmly based on the Natya Shastra.
ஐநூறு தையலருண்டாம் அழகில் தன் நிகரில்லாதவராம் நிகரில்லாதவராம் ஐயனே நின் அரண்மனையில் ஐநூறு தையலருண்டாம் அழகில் தன் நிகரில்லாதவராம் நிகரில்லாதவராம் கல்வி தெரிந்தவராம் கல்லுருக பாடுவராம் சனித மகரி சனி பாடுவராம் பாடுவராம் நினித மகமனினி பாடுவராம் அன்னவரே சேதே நீர் அன்புடனே வாழ்ந்திருப்பேன் பொன்னடியை போற்றுகின்றேன் போய் வருவேன் பொன்னடியை போற்றுகின்றேன் போய் வருவேன்
அழகுடையாய் வேட தவ மகளே தவ மகளே ஆடலை காணாவிடில் என்னை ஈசா உன் ஆடலை காணாவிடில் என்னை.
Addressing Lord Nataraja, the Lord of Dance, the dancers exclaim, "What if I cannot see you dance? I perceive you in my dance." These sentiments are perhaps shared by every dancer in India.
तजं झं तरित धीं धीं त धीं त तजं तधनं ततरुं तगधीं ततत्तज्झं कृतगतज्झं कृतगतज्झं तदगजं तदगजणु तां तधित्तजणु तधित्तजणु तधिङ्गिण तधरित तदणत तां तद्धरितां तज्जणु तां तदकजणु तधे तनकजणु तदरि तदणु तजणु तदिमित्रकृतं तझं झं तरित तझं झं तरित तां धी तद्धित्त धित्त तकतदिमित किट जगतक तरि तत्तज्झं तत्तझं तत्तझं तत्तां तज्झं तत्तज्झं तां तरिकृतं कृतगतरिकृतं तत्कृतगतरिकृतं तरिकृतं कृतगतरिकृतं தக்கிருதம் தரிகிருதம் கிருதம் தக்கிருதம்
ஆடலை காணாவிடில் என்னை ஈசா என் நாடலில் உன்னை காண்கிறேன் நடேசா உன் ஆடலை காணாவிடில் என்னை ஈசா என் நாடலில் உன்னை காண்கிறேன் நடேச ஆடலை காண வீடு என்ன ஈசா திசைக்கொரு இசை என நடை மாறி உடை மாறினும் திசைக்கொரு இசை என நடை மாறி உடை மாறினும் அரிதாரத்தில் நீ ஒளிந்தாலும் அரிதாரத்தில் நீ ஒளிந்தாலும் உன் அடையாளம் தெளிவானது உன் அடையாளம் தெளிவானது ஆடலை காண வீடு என்ன ஈசா உன்னாடலை காண வீடு என்ன ஈசா என் நாடலில் உன்னை காண்கிறேன் நடேசா என் நாடலில் உன்னை காண்கிறேன் நடேசா ஆடலை காண வீடு என்ன ஈசா ஈ